Well, what a pleasure now. I'm joined by the ICMA's Executive Director, Bob O'Neill. Bob, welcome.
Thanks. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you. So it's the 101st conference this year, and it's in Seattle. That's an exciting place to be, right?
It's an extraordinary place. It's a wonderful region. It's a great place to live and work. It's such a dynamic region. I think our attendance will be reflective of the quality of community that Seattle and the surrounding communities are. So we're very excited about being here.
And we're expecting a lot of delegates. We're expecting a lot of members to make the trip, aren't we, this week?
We are. I think there's a good chance that we'll have a record crowd of members in active service, and so we're excited about that.
Now, Bob, this is the 10th time that we've done this. We've had this particular interview, and some of the topics, don't seem to change an awful lot. I mean, we talk about economic uncertainty, political uncertainty. What do you think are the sort of top of the list at the moment in your members' interests?
Well, I think, sort of a big picture. There are probably 3 or 4 things. There will be themes that you'll see throughout the program. One is the increasing importance of local government around the world.
Right.
That is, given the financial challenges and the political challenges of national governments, and in some cases provinces and states. Local government's never been unimportant, but increasingly it is the level of government in which things have to happen.
Right.
So that's one big issue. The second, on the other end, as it relates to the profession, is the increasing transition between the baby boomers and the next generation of people who will be in leadership. So you'll see a lot of focus on that in our program. The third is what I would call the challenges that have existed in communities. The Ferguson and the New York City
Right.
and those kinds of environments have put a real focus on leadership in the community. So you'll see a lot of leadership dimensions around how to deal with issues of real conflict in communities and how to deal with those in a way that produces constructive outcomes.
So do you think the issues are moving on a little bit? I mean, we've had the economic crisis and it was all about raising income, it was all about taxes, and now you think things are moving on in terms of the issues?
Well, I mean, to some extent the economy's better. It doesn't automatically influence local governments, and I think there are local governments that are still in stress around the country. But I think at some point you have to get on with it.
Right.
And so I think local governments are starting to focus on now what is it we can do, what's important in communities, how do we get those things done that improve the quality of life for the residents we serve.
In terms of politics, in terms of the bigger political picture, how much effect does that have on local government? Or is it just a question of getting on with things?
It certainly has an influence. And I think it has an influence on the way people perceive their governments, because there's so much of domination, particularly during a national political campaign, of how people behave and what the issues are and those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, in communities, the same things matter to people. They want to be safe, they want access, they want a good job, they want health care, good education, quality environment, they want their infrastructure to work.
Right.
Those issues don't change regardless of the political climate in the country.
Let's talk a little bit about the ICMA, because it's been a busy few years for the ICMA. We've had the Life Well Run campaign. ICMA's really started to tackle, hasn't it, some of those issues to do with the next generation of managers, the importance of local government, the importance of leadership at that level.
We do. Last year we had a leadership task force. We now have 48 student chapters on campuses around the country, focused on trying to encourage people to be interested in public service and local government management. We're trying to think about what's the leadership dimension of all of the things that our members are involved in. So, for the first time we've exceeded 10,000 members. So it's an exciting time at ICMA.
And the importance of diversity has been recognized as well, hasn't it?
It is, because I think one of the values of the profession is to try to be reflective of the communities we serve. And increasingly in the United States and in countries around the world, our communities are becoming more diverse. So the interest is our profession should be more diverse, our workforce should be more diverse. We ought to be reflective of those communities as best we can.
Well, Bob, thanks ever so much for joining us. Hope you have a great penultimate conference.
Oh, thank you. Great to be here.